Hi, and welcome to Top Dice. You've got me, Aid, and hello, Alan.
Oh,
Well, it's been a couple of weeks. We've got quite a bit of catching up to do, and we've got
a
quite a few new
lot.
releases,
Yeah,
I think, haven't we, to talk about?
yeah. Well, GenCon is upon us, isn't it? So yeah, I apologise for not being around the last couple of weeks, but that real life thing happened.
Yep,
Um,
same here.
and
So, you
so
know,
yeah. So but moving on because that's what we need to do, isn't it? Always.
yeah,
Yeah. So GenCon round the corner.
we have.
Big releases that we know of. There are going to be I'm sure, plenty of releases that we don't know about, but big releases that we know of for Gen Con. Invincible from Free League has
That's going to
been
be a biggie.
much weighted, much anticipated. Sorry, that's the right word. Can tell it's been a couple of weeks since we did this, can't you?
You can, yeah. It's getting your worms mixed up.
Okay, yes. So much anticipated, Invincible. So based on the comic book and animated series of the same name, come out from Free League, superheroes with a slightly modified version of the Year Zero engine. Fantastic. It's it releases on Thursday. Retail release in the
Yeah.
UK is Thursday, obviously, which coincides with the first day of Gen Con. It's gone really, really well for us. I'm sure there are going to be a lot of retailers with that on the shelves on Thursday.
Well, the Kickstarter
Um,
did really well, didn't it?
yeah, yeah. Well, um, we've actually pretty much sold out of the core rule book into retailers. That is, so
Wow.
they're going to have a load of it. Ready to go on Thursday, which is great. And it comes with a core rule set, core rule book at £43. There's a starter set for 24. There's a GM screen at 20 quid, and then there's a dice set and a set of power cards to describe all the different superpowers and things.
I'll just need to
Well,
stop you there and ask. I
oh,
need to ask the question.
go on.
How much is that dice set?
£18.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's and do you get the full range of dice in there? He said expectantly.
No, because it's a Year Zero engine game, so it's mostly D6s.
But I know, but I was meaning, so do you get the full set of dice you need to play the game?
Yes, of course.
Right. Well, there you
Yeah.
go.
But it's not a polyhedral set. So
No.
so £18 for the dice, £18 for the power cards. We've said how many times on this channel how much we love a card deck
Oh
and things like
gosh.
that.
Yeah.
Little aids at the table are great, aren't they? I'm not talking about you, mate. It's um,
I've always got a little deck to hand just in case this happens to be just objects of intrigue there. Very useful. I recommend cards each and every time. If you, yeah. So
yeah.
there's a lot coming out at
We're
once for this then.
talking about decks to hand. I've got the Asher's Ridge deck here, which is
There
just
you go.
generate a story in one go. So fantastic little thing. Yeah, so five releases for it, all in one go. Free League going big and going proper as well because it's gorgeous.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's.
so
I've always thought they should actually do an all. Now I know they do this with a Kickstarter, but I've always thought they should do an all-in-one pack for a slight discount. That was everything in one. You get the lot, the cards, the dice, the screen, the book, all those, and so it's a nice little sort of package there, all to go. Um, with just mind you can get 10% off at GMS, can't they, for being a member?
yes, join the games club and people can get 10% off, 20% off their first order, 10% off thereafter. So a good plug, thank you. I didn't ask for that, by
Wasn't
the way.
it, wa- no,
That was
that
unplanned.
wasn't deliberate. It just sort of came to me because I think it's
Totally
something that
unplanned.
they're missing a trick out on.
Yeah, I must admit we've started doing a few bundle deals on things like that, like Castles and Crusades, for example. We do a bundle deal on the Player's Handbook, the Monsters and Treasure, and the Castle Keeper's Guide. So you can get a bit of a bundle deal on some of those as well. But yeah, I do.
Eh,
I hear what you're saying though. I think some people, some companies do maybe miss a trick, but.
Well, my argument there would be look at Kickstarter and the other crowdfunders, because when you sign up and you sort of throw money into that, you end up with a bundle, and obviously you're paying up front well before the thing's actually out, but you get decent discounts, and then you get a nice little box arriving just full of goodies. And
Mhm.
oh yeah, the fingers are twitching just thinking about goodies. So there we go. Anyway, yeah. So
Quick, somebody get this man a website to buy stuff on.
yes, yeah,
So anyway, moving on.
yes,
Um,
definitely.
Paizo, again, another company that's gone quite big for the GenCon releases. And again, a lot of the retailers that we supply have got this stuff available for Thursday when it's released. So two Paizo releases in July, but there isn't one for August. So your next releases will be September. But so for GenCon, for Pathfinder, we've got Impossible Magic, which looks to me like a great book. So that the Impossible Lands source book has been out for quite a while. Lost
Yeah,
Omens Impossible Lands, that's been out for quite a while. And this is an expansion on that. So there's loads of new spells, character classes, adds in couple of different magic styles and things like that. So real good at expansion to the magic rules for Pathfinder with Impossible Magic. That's got standard and sketch cover at £60 at the moment for the hardcover. Special edition leather bound cover is 78. The pocket edition for that will be along in November. So it's possibly a month longer than they would normally be, but it's got to be but
they're popular again. These pocket editions, aren't they? The
yeah,
for
very.
Pathfinder.
We find that you get an initial tranche of people who will buy the Pathfinder books, but then people who are looking to get into Pathfinder later on will quite often buy the pocket edition books.
Yeah,
So they probably it's probably about equal if you look at hardbacks across all of like if you look at a core book for Pathfinder, let's say Pathfinder Player Core.
yeah,
If you look at sales of standard, sketch, and special edition in hardback, the pocket edition will probably match those three together, if you see what I mean.
yes.
So they do go really, really well. They do go well. But at the end of the day, money's a bit tight for everybody, isn't it? And if you're buying a lot of things, instead of paying 60 quid, you can pay 25. You're not getting the big hardback weighty tome, but you're getting what you need. So
Exactly,
I
and it's
can
still full color.
see, yeah, yeah, and so I can
Yeah.
see why it's a popular format, definitely. We talked about this before we started recording, didn't we? Saying that we were going to maybe have a quick discussion about it. Are we going to do that now, or shall we do the releases?
Let's do the releases, and we'll
Let's
come
do
back
the
to it.
releases and we'll come back to it. Here you go, freewheeling all the way. So, Bastion of Blasphemies is a new adventure path for
Oh,
Pathfinder.
try saying that when you've had a couple of pints.
Um, so this is a lower levels. I think it's level 6 to 13. I think it
Hmm.
covers, and what Paizo is saying is that it's a follow-on really from Troubles in Grace, which was the adventure anthology for Pathfinder, which released just around UK Games Expo sort of times, a couple of
Yeah,
months ago now, which itself is a follow-on from the new starter set. So there's a kind of campaign path seems to be evolving through that.
yeah,
So following the new format for Paizo adventure paths, this is a complete adventure path in a book. So rather than three individual releases, which they used to do, they're now doing all of the adventure paths just as a single book. And I'm just double checking something. Yeah, because I wrote the wrong price down earlier on, because I was thinking that was a little bit cheap. Yeah, so the standard hardcover of Bastion of Blasphemies is 67.50. So if you think previously, if you were buying all three books in an adventure path, they'd be softback books for starters, and
Yeah.
you'd be paying £25 a piece for them.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit cheaper for a hardback.
Yeah.
So it's 67.50, and the special edition is 85. Um,
Everything's there in one cover, though.
but
Let's be quite blunt
but
about it.
everything's there in one sort of one more durable book. So
Yeah,
you know,
I prefer. I liked the adventure paths going back in the day, and it was in a good way. Yeah, but you had to pick them all up, and if you missed one, they could be an absolute sod to actually pick up if you missed it.
yeah.
Distribution obviously is better now. Didn't used to be this good, but if you did miss one, and that kind of put me off because or I have used a lot of the adventure paths for D&D,
Mhm.
which is probably blasphemy to Paizo, but it's so easy to convert.
I'm pretty sure Paizo don't care.
No, they'll be getting money. They'd still prefer you to sell you the core book, I'm sure, but and the various
Absolutely, yeah.
but um, I've used them so easily. And I've got Council of Thieves, which is a much older one, obviously,
Mm.
that I'm going to be sort of launching into in the not too distant future of my own group.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure that they, with if you want to run the Pathfinder adventure path with D&D, similar to a Castles and Crusades adventure, you
Yeah,
probably actually convert it on the fly. You probably don't actually need to sit down and make notes about things. It's the information is there, isn't it?
it is.
Don't need to do a great deal with it.
It,
So, um,
it's actually really easy to do. And if you do struggle, you've got AI tools that you can use to help you if you wanted to. If you've got the original adventure there, it wouldn't sort of work any other way. You'd need to have bought the adventure, but you can actually sort of ask one of the various AI tools, can you help me with this? And it will even change the setting for you.
right, wowzers.
So if you wanted to run it in Greyhawk or Forgotten Realms, it would sort of give you a load of suggestions, and then you can decide which way to actually go with it.
Right.
So
Top Dice does not condone.
no, we don't condone these any no
uh,
commercial
it's
AI generative, but on an individual
yeah,
level, if that's what you're wanting to do, it's there as a tool for you.
as I was going to say, as a tool so that you can use one product somewhere else.
Yeah.
Particularly, if you've paid good money for it, then why
Well,
not?
it helps keep
Um,
it keeps the hobby going.
yeah, yeah.
Does that? It's
Mhm.
and it's great if you can run things other than your standard Wizards of the Coast stuff with
Yeah.
D&D, or if you, for example, if Pathfinder or Daggerheart or any of the others, if you wanted to sort of say, for example, Tomb of Annihilation from D&D, it would be dead easy. Saying that 9 times out of 10, you can pick the book up yourself and with very little effort, just run it as is.
Mhm. Well, maybe that's something I will try at some point. But anyway, we have digressed once more,
Again,
haven't we?
sorry, yeah.
So back to GenCon releases. Starfinder.
Mm.
I'm not a Starfinder player, but I can see immense value in this book that's just coming out on Thursday, which is Absalom Station, which is a big space station right at the center of the Starfinder galaxy.
The original,
Lots of
basically, yeah. That's where
lots
you.
and lots of
The
stuff that goes
original one
on there.
started there, yeah.
So this is a detailed look at that station, including different factions, etc., and a big poster map of the whole shebang. That again is in the standard and as they call it, the retailer cover, £42, and the special edition is 60. So I'm going to be honest with you. I don't get the retailer cover things for the new second edition Starfinder.
Me neither. But
I think, yeah, but because I really do get the sketch cover for Pathfinder, um, as an alternate cover without going to the special edition. I really do get the sketch cover thing, but I don't get the retailer cover thing for Starfinder. But plenty of people do. Plenty of people prefer them. So
choice, there you go,
going
which is
well,
great.
and then the last thing really for Starfinder then is the critical hits deck, which again, more cards. It's only 15 quid, randomizes critical hits, brings a bit more flavor to your game. I think that's going to be one of those that people are going to see
It's fun.
on the
Yeah,
counter in the game shop, and they're going to go, do you know what? It's 15 quid. Why not?
yeah.
And I think it will add some flavour to the game. And then interestingly is that Paizo have brought out a new novel as well for Starfinder, which is Assault on Absalom Station. So that obviously supports the new source book.
Ties in, yeah.
Nice big story that goes alongside that. And with a tip of the nose and a nod and a wink, he said, "There's more to come."
Good.
So, so yeah, and then the last thing really from Paizo is two new flip mats. There's a dockside warehouse and one called Bar Fight. And I don't think I really need to go into too much detail as to
I
what
think
those
it
two are
says
about.
what it is on the tin.
Kind of
Yeah.
says what it is. And then, so the last thing I'm going to talk about in terms of releases is nothing to do with GenCon because these things have been out for a little while, but we've been working with the publishers. They're a US based publisher called Alchemical Press, and they've released a bunch of stuff that we absolutely love because it's D&D as mice. So now
Okay.
you got two ways of doing this. There is an adventure where your standard D&D party is converted, is magically transformed into rodents, and then there is a whole campaign around that. Alternatively, there are rules for just having a game using the D&D rules where the heroes are rodents, and it's great. There's a campaign guide, and there's a whole bunch of adventures. And if you like your old school D&D, this is what it's for. It's for the sort of OSR crowd, really, but it will work with D&D. And but if you remember the format, certainly the front pages of the old modules and things
Oh
like
yeah.
that, Alchemical Press have very much sort of played on that. So you've got a campaign guide which is 20 quid, and then there's one, two, three, four, five, six seven no six adventures at the same price, and then there's another one that's 25 quid. Then there's a couple of atlas and map modules that back those up, and then there is a pantheon of gods because
You have to. Yeah.
why not.
Yeah.
And then there is an omnibus volume which brings together the setting book and the first four or five adventures, and that's 80 quid. They've only just been produced, and Alchemical Press have produced them here in the UK.
Excellent.
So we've actually got them first, and they're shipping to America very soon. So we've actually got those before the Americans, and that's the sort of it's for OSR, Osric, that kind of thing, but
Yeah.
easily converts to D&D, OD&D, however you want to call it. But they also have a smaller but growing number of the same setting and modules for Shadow Dark as well. So, and those are proving quite popular too. Apart from the usual complaint that nobody can get hold of the Shadow Dark rules, but yeah, um,
Yeah.
this is something we will keep chipping away at remedying, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, so if you like a slightly quirky, or do you know what, if you want to run a D&D campaign with younger players, throw in a more sort of cutesy element to it or something like that, then Alchemical Press Mice of Legend is it's
Love it.
well worth a look. And like I said, it's not expensive. If you've got your copy of Osric or something similar, then 20 quid for a module with your
Yeah.
maps and all of that kind of stuff. It's great.
Yeah.
Great news.
There's
So
that many free OSR rule sets out there. So
yeah,
might actually sort of do a look at comparison of them for one of the chats we actually do. Throw a few out there. But
oh,
yeah,
wow.
for now, that's
Yeah. So that's
definitely a bargain.
releases, and we've already talked about a whole load of other things as well, haven't we? So
We have as
what
well.
next? Go on.
Oh well, it looks like it was the coast of lost a president. So that's sort of
Well,
hot off the press today.
there's jokes there, but I'm not going to say them. I can't.
No, I wouldn't do it's not worth it. But John Haidt has actually stepped down. He's not been pushed. I believe he's actually stepped down, and he's going to be leaving on the 1st of September.
Right.
So it's 2 years he's been in. That's all.
Okay.
He previously worked for Blizzard for donkey's years. and also came into Wizards, I think, to the video game side. So that's again quite interesting. So obviously he's believing his time there. He's done what he needs, and he's going to be moving on. Don't know who the replacement's going to be at this point in time, but there we go. There's that, and the other big news, I suppose, from Wizards of the Coast is the GenCon. They've taken over an entire theatre for GenCon, and it
Yeah.
looks like that's going to be absolutely huge. It's called the D&D Tower. So it's a repertory theatre, get the words out. Indiana Repertory Theatre, and I think there's 60 D floors there with live shows. There's adventures going on. There's experiences, music, cosplay, and yeah, it's going to be absolutely full every single day. And also, there's going to be some special events and also some news releases as well. They've got some big things apparently coming, but what we don't actually know at this moment in time.
Well, I'm sure we'll have something to talk about next week when it's all over.
We will, and this is something
The
that we
best
kind of
4 days in
predicted.
gaming, they call it.
Yeah, it's apparently there's going to be some big news coming. Now, what they decide is big news and what we think is big news, there could be a bit of a grey area there, but I'm
You
looking
know.
forward to hearing.
Mhm.
I know
Well,
you're not a D&D fan. I
I
play
never said
D&D.
that. I said I don't play D&D.
That's it. That's so we can't really describe you as a D&D fanatic.
Now that I will concede,
That's
yes.
it.
Yeah.
But obviously, there's a big interest there because the impact D&D has over the entire hobby, basically, whether you like it or not. Um, it's there and in your face. So we'll see what actually happens on that front.
Yeah. No, like I said, I don't play D&D. I've not played D&D since third edition.
And I can
Um,
understand, yeah,
but
it's yeah,
but deep down, you've got to. I have a love for D&D because well, not we all started with D&D, but a whole lot of
a
us
lot of us did, yeah,
started with D&D. And I played a little bit of AD&D, played quite a bit of second edition AD&D, and then sort of 3/3.5 played
yeah,
quite a bit of that
the
as well.
biggie, yeah,
But so yeah, to say that I'm not a D&D fan is, I think you're doing me a minor disservice there.
yeah.
But
Okay, I'll take that.
but at the end of the day, as the way I see it is anything that promotes our hobby, and gets people into our hobby and able to sit and have a conversation like this is fantastic. And it doesn't matter if it's D&D or the secret files of Section D, which 200 people planet wide have heard of. So it's
Yeah, more than that, but yeah, okay. Again, you're doing yourself a disservice there
but
yourself.
so so yeah, D&D, bring it on, more power to it.
Yeah. It'll
Because
bring more people into the hobby. And the other way to bring more people into the hobby, I think, would be these digests for you. There
yes,
you go. That
yeah,
you see how I
good
slid that
segue.
one in there.
Yeah, we're learning, aren't we? We're learning. So go on then. What's your viewpoint on it?
Do you know what? I think it's great. I've got a couple of the digest books on the shelf in the other room, and I'm not a huge Pathfinder player. I haven't been for many years, but again, I certainly enjoy what they actually sort of do. And there's a lot of information in these books that's very, very useful. They've even done digest versions of the combined adventures that they've actually sort of Rise of the Rune Lords, etc., haven't they? Which has been very successful in a little slim, easy to carry volume. So price wise, really good. Was it 25 quid you were saying that they actually are 20, 25 quid?
Most of them in the UK, once converted from US dollars, most of them are 25. There's just been a price increase on Player Core, which has gone up to 29. I'm just
It's a big one though. That
let me
it's a
check.
bigger game book, that one though, isn't it? And it's full of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
So Player Core Pocket Edition has now gone up to 29, and the GM Core Pocket Edition has gone up to 27.
yeah,
But the rest of them are 25 and continue to be so. Even
yeah,
even the new releases. So, but as you say, the Player Core is a thicker book. It's a much bigger book
bigger beast. Yeah,
than something like Guns and Gears or something with
yeah,
so it's there's a lot more to it. So I think possibly what you may have got with or the reason why there has been a price increase on Pocket Player Core Pocket is that Paizo will have got an economy of scale. When they did their first print run of
yeah.
those, they will have printed many thousands of copies of them, and it may have taken a little while to sell through those. Now that they've needed a reprint because it's a bigger book, unfortunately, the prices of everything is going up a little bit,
That's
isn't
it
it?
exactly.
But
But
still, 30 quid.
yeah,
Um,
if for example, say take a if you take D&D for example, or Castles and Crusades, which I think came up on one of the chat groups earlier in the week
yeah,
about digest versions on that front. Um, if it was cheaper, make it more accessible. Not everybody wants or needs a big hardback. I personally am a fan of them, but I also like the digest versions as well.
mhm.
As long as it's not a PDF they have to stare at a screen at or you need to use on a tablet, then I'm up for it. I do struggle, unfortunately, with reading PDFs on screens for an extended period of time. Need to put that actually sort of out there, and that's the reason for it. But I think it's an absolutely fantastic idea because it makes it more accessible and it's more affordable, cost of living, etc. Why not?
Yeah.
I'd be very tempted to have a go at buying a D&D player's handbook if it was digest sized, or Castles and Crusades players, but or just about any other Tale of the Loop, Twilight 2000. Yeah, certainly colour me interested on that.
Yeah. See, I mean, I think something like Castles and Crusades was the forum that I saw this thing come up on,
Yeah,
and
I saw it
apparently
there as well. Yeah,
I didn't know this, but Troll Lord Games actually did do a digest-sized edition a long time
they
ago.
did a very long time ago. I
Um,
owned it. Yeah,
but it was one of the older. Uh, they don't
white.
do editions, do they?
Yeah,
So it was one of the older printings.
yeah,
So less artwork, a lot more compact, a lot more wordy, what have you. Whereas now, Castles and Crusades is, in my opinion, it's a beautifully made
yeah,
book, full colour, loads of artwork, everything like that. So it's a different beast, even though it's not really a different game. The book itself is a totally different beast. But yeah, I think a digest edition would go down quite well. But even just a softback, to be fair, because I think, if I'm running Castles and Crusades, so my current version of the rule book is the special edition one here. And do I want to be throwing that around on a game table for all and
no,
sundry to be flicking through? Probably not. But if I've got a softback version, I might buy one or two of those just to have
throw
on
on
the
the yeah,
table.
stick it
Um,
on the table.
then
I do that all the time. I if there's a game I'm actually running, whether it's D&D, Pathfinder, Castles and Crusades, I try to get an extra players book out there anyway. So
mhm,
I've got my copy,
yeah,
and the players have got access to one
mhm,
should they need it.
yeah,
Sometimes they'll obviously have their own copy of it, but another one on the table for reference. Yeah, and
yeah.
that's the cheapest and bestest way to do
And
it.
then other games that are digest sized as well. Savage Worlds.
Yeah,
So it's very easy to carry a copy of Savage Worlds around. They do a player's book, which is just the player information, and that's a softback book. I've got one up here somewhere. So
yeah, it's
that
got all the that's it. It's
is
got all the
is
rules in
everything
as
that you
well,
need
and
for
you could
ju-
even use it as the games master if you wanted that.
yeah,
There's enough in there,
yeah.
you know.
Um, And
It,
then newer things like Salvage Union is a digest-sized game.
yeah,
So and that's incredibly popular, continues to be incredibly popular and sells really well. So I think there is room for it
definitely.
for game manufacturers to do a smaller or softback or both version of their core rule books, and I think they would do well.
Well, I'll what we'll do, we'll stick it in the UK tabletop role playing Facebook page and
Yeah,
just
I'd love to know what other people
see
think of
what
that.
comes up, see what the thoughts are, um, see if there's any traction there on that. But certainly for me, it would be an absolute plus, and I'd certainly consider picking them up. I know
Mhm.
for the Savage Worlds, the old Explorer edition, um, I ended up with half a dozen copies simply because the price
Is
it was.
is that because they fell apart?
It's that as well. Saying that, they were quite durable. The ones I actually sort of had. The original one I had was a big hardback, the first edition.
Oh, right, yeah,
So
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go. Awful cover, I'm afraid to say.
Yeah, the cover wasn't great. But
No,
then so my introduction to Savage Worlds was the little orange digest sized book
that's it. It
that just
that
fell to
looked like a
pieces.
journal. That's it. It
Yeah,
looked like a journal, didn't it? That was it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The pages just flipped out.
yeah,
It's but how great was that? I think it was 7.99. You
yeah.
know,
That's it. It was it was ridiculously cheap, and
we are talking 20 odd years ago here, by the
yeah,
way.
I
But
remember picking it up from. I'm pretty sure it was from Forbidden Planet in London, where I bought the rule book, first rule book for Savage Worlds. Yeah,
yeah, it's yeah. I got where did I get mine from? Might have been Leisure Games actually that I got my original copy from
right.
many years ago. So there you go. That's bit of a step down memory lane, but you know what? We'll have a
Uh,
further chat about this. We'll come back to this for our next one. We'll see what everyone else has to sort of say. And of
Nostalgia's
course,
not what it used to be, mate.
no, that's it. And the other thing is, of course, we're getting to RPG a day 2026, where
Yes.
yeah, August the 1st, a question a day. This has been going on since 2014. Would you believe it? The Facebook page will be doing a daily sort of update on that front and asking the question. We're going to do something a bit different though on the Facebook page because after talking to a few people, the one they've got officially out this year is a single word. So it's not really a question, a single word description, and it asks you to come up with a character using that description. Um,
Okay.
there's been a bit of resistance to the people I've talked to, not everybody. So what I've done this year, I've got a top dice RPG a day 2026, which is more, shall we say, traditional questions like what was your first role playing game? What's the first role playing game you GM'd? Um, what role playing game have you found the funniest? Things like that. So we're going to be asking the questions next to each other, and people can have the choice to answer either or neither, whichever they were both. The choice will be there. So that'll be starting the 1st of August on the Facebook page.
Oh, well,
Usually,
I shall do my best to chime in when I can.
yeah. Um, well, what we'll be doing as well as we get to Christmas time, we'll be doing another RPG a day session because we always do it a couple of times a year, just over the Christmas period, just as a bit of a distraction and to sort of keep the gaming head on because you can get a bit lost with things around Christmas time. So, but that's for the future, that one. So we shall see what
Okay.
actually happens on that. Um, what other things have been going on? The new Daggerheart supplements come out. I've ended up picking that one up. That looks really good. Not ready yet. I'm quite impressed with Daggerheart, I must say. Um, and I'm
Trying to sorry, go on.
I'm waiting on. I had a notification that the Assassin's Creed role-playing game was getting ready to ship from Cool Minis or Not. So
Right.
after being told by various people, nah, it's not going to happen. They're going to go bust. You're not going to get your stuff. It's going to be really interesting. It's about 3 years too late, but I don't care. It'll be coming, and it looks quite innovative, the rule system for this one. So we'll wait and see.
Now you see, here's my addled brain that we've not actually done one of these for a couple of weeks. Did we talk about the new version of Space 1889?
Yeah, we kind of touched on that, and there was quite a mixed reaction because it's a fifth edition
Mm,
version of it.
it
Yeah,
is, yeah.
we um,
Um,
we were on with Elliot last time, and yeah, we had a bit of a chat about that and the use of fifth edition rules and was it really necessary? We came out with quite a resounding yes all round.
mhm.
Um, but again, it seems to have, and the various questions that have been asked on the community channel, there's been a bit of a mixed response over the weeks and months that we've gone out with similar things with uh, shall we say, a bit of resistance to such things because of the fifth edition tag to it.
Yeah, yeah, I do get that.
I do
Um,
too. Um, it's one of those. As far as and again, we discussed this before. It gives an option. If you don't like it, if you don't want it, that's absolutely fine. Then jog on. If someone does, then yeah, okay. Traveller was one of those that we talked about. Was there really a need for a fifth edition Traveller? Well, several thousand people for the Kickstarter thought so,
yeah,
paying out an absolute fortune for it. Me, not really my bag, but if you want it and the options there, then yeah, you know
yeah.
what?
I had a copy of Traveller T20,
I did indeed too. Yeah.
and do you know it wasn't a bad game.
No,
Um, but
it
if
worked.
you've played
Yeah.
both, it's one of those that this is, my opinion. If you've played both, the thing for me was it just didn't feel like Traveller,
No, it didn't.
and that's the how weird is that when you've got the same setting and the same things,
Yeah.
sort of, what have you. Um, how does it not feel like
Feel the
Traveller?
flip. That's it. It's simply because it's not what we're used to
Yeah,
as
it's
old
just it was
gamers.
old grognards
Yeah.
that.
It's exactly it.
I don't like change.
No, but I did use it to run a science fiction third edition game.
Yeah,
So I actually ran a third edition game set in Greyhawk. I didn't get to run it for long, unfortunately, using cyberpunk rules and those rules,
right.
and brought it up to the well, I'm going to say the future, shall we say? So all
Right.
of a sudden, you'd got cyber gangs and cyber running going on, but you're also infused with magic, etc. So
Right.
the tech was quite influenced with magic and runes and all that sort of stuff,
Okay.
but very much with augmentations and cyberpunk elements.
That's not just Shadowrun.
Yeah, well, that was what I actually sort of
Shadowrun with the
used for.
serial numbers filed off.
I used that for a whole source of ideas for it,
Yeah.
and it came about through a Dragon magazine article about what Greyhawk City would have been like in the if it was set in the far future.
Right. Okay. Okay. Get
So
it.
it was
It's
it
no
was
bad thing, by the
interesting.
way. Saying is that because Shadowrun did that and blended it all
Yeah,
perfectly. And again, my opinion, Shadowrun was a great concept that was failed mechanically, and I never
yeah.
got on with the mechanics of Shadowrun. But
The
that's
original rules were I think there were issues with the very first print, and after that the reissue sorted it mostly, and then it got on to silly level second edition I played, but after that I really struggled because it kind of lost the plot really for me personally. Some great source books though,
yeah, yeah, some very good
great
stuff.
ideas.
But anyway, going back to the Space 1889 thing, and just to throw this in while we're talking about sort of news and things like that. So I've had a chat with the guys who are running that campaign, and they're going to do their fulfillment with GMS. which means that if you're in the UK or the US, sorry, UK or Europe, it means that basically we could get the shipping costs are going to come down by
Brilliant.
at least half. So looking at I'm just looking at the backer kit page here now. So they did 46,000, or rather, they're at $46,000 dollars at the moment out of 5,000 needed. So and they're a little bit short of 500 backers for it. But they're quoting at the moment $45 for shipping for the UK. And I've had conversations with them that are going to bring that down now to probably closer to $20, maybe
Brilliant.
£17 or something like that.
I love that setting, I must say.
So
Yeah, 1889. Love it.
yeah, there's some people have said it's the birthplace of steampunk, haven't they? So
It was, as far as I'm concerned. That was the
yeah.
first
Oh
time. In fact, there's only one other Victorian RPG other than the Call of Cthulhu by Gaslight that I can think of, really, back in the day.
yeah, you got me thinking now.
It was called Victorian Adventures, and it was you used to see ads for it in the Old White Dwarfs as a very British amateur press thing. We
Mhm.
actually stocked it at Preston Games back in the must be
Right.
late 80s, early
Mhm.
90s.
Yeah. Triple
Um,
H Games did a Victorian one as well, didn't he? In fact, was it actually called Victoriana or something like that?
there was Victor, but that came a bit later, that one. But yeah,
It's a Ubiquity system game, if
yeah,
memory serves.
the,
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one. It's a great era to pull upon.
Yeah, I must admit,
Sherlock Holmes mystery investigation.
yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what? It's great. Interestingly, it's the Georgian era has kind of been passed by a little bit, really. It's I thought there'd be more on that front, but no, not a great deal. There are a couple, but not many. And
Mm,
when I was researching for the French and Indian War, the Canadian War, the back in the 1700s when we did that one, um, we were the only role-playing game thing out there that was using the Renaissance, and Roger and
right,
myself wrote a couple of adventures for it, which were quite well received.
right.
Unusual, different, and not your common sort of adventure, really.
Hmm.
No, there you go.
Yeah.
So many eras that have not been covered fully.
Do you know, for a little while, I always thought that the classic sort of Greek mythology thing had never had enough love in RPGs.
And
And then Aegean came
on
along,
and bang, yeah,
and a number of others. Say within the last sort of 3 or 4 years, there's been a couple of others as well that have all sort of gone into that area. And do you know what? I've not bought them.
no,
So I think, okay, maybe that era's maybe there's a reason that era didn't get as much love, but it's
it's
weird
timing and
because
everything else. You've got to
yeah,
have the. I think you've got to have the ideas flowing,
yeah,
really.
mhm, yeah.
And
Tell you what, you watch sales of those games go up this summer after everybody's gone to the cinema and watched Odyssey.
I was going to sort of say you've got Odyssey on there. You're going to have more of the similar sort of movies coming out. I'm quite sure. Roman Empire, I know that's a bit after the Greek Empire and
Hmm.
the Trojan Wars, but even so, that's got a couple that does really well.
Yeah,
Interesting enough, they all
Lex
seem to have a horror
Arcana's quite
tinge to it,
popular.
with rather
Yes.
than classic sort of stories. But anyway,
Yeah, it's I mean the Greek mythology one's got all the monsters and everything anyway, hasn't it? It's like, yeah, why are we not doing that? Um,
exactly,
but then again, a lot of the monsters and things got ported over, didn't they?
yeah,
And you've got, your gorgons and your giants and your animated,
your
your
Cyclops
skeletons
and
and your
yeah, that's it.
cyclops and all of this kind of thing. So they're kind of all in your standard fantasy these days anyway.
Yeah,
So yeah, yeah.
happy days.
Mm.
Well, there we go. What a way to call it. Well, that's it's been quite a diverse episode today. We
Yeah.
covered so many different things. I kind of lost track of what we were talking about. Look forward to going back and editing all this and putting everything actually in there. I'll put the various
Yeah.
infographics in there as usual anyway. So it'll all be very
Yeah.
spangly when it goes out.
You want a big thing on it that says "We love AI" or something on the
No,
front of it, and
it's
then, and then we'll get the viewers.
oh God, no. It's a useful tool
I I
if you're
agree.
doing anything, but it's to be quite blunt, you just can't use it for writing stuff because if you use it just as is, oh my God, it's diabolical.
Oh yeah.
It sticks out like a sore thumb. Even the punctuation is wrong.
Hmm. Yeah.
So
But
it's a no from me on that side. But certainly, if you want a tool just to sort of get some ideas flowing, then yeah, definitely,
mhm,
definitely, definitely. Or to convert an adventure over and you want some ideas. Well,
yeah,
okay, it's this in Pathfinder. Where would it sit in the Forgotten Realms or Greyhawk,
yeah,
or Barsoom or anywhere else? And it'll come with a few ideas.
yeah. But like, as you say, it's a tool. It's not the end product. It should never be the end product.
No, you can't
I
beat
think
you
is the
can't beat
stand
it.
is the standpoint is that it can't be. You can't just churn something out of AI and chuck
No,
it out.
there are a lot of projects that are currently running with a lot of AI on, and I basically I don't back them if I see that. There's two I've recently pulled out of on Kickstarter. Once I sort of read down and thought that looks interesting. I took a look at the art and think this looks a bit weird. And then when I read further down that it will be using AI generative art, etc., I just went, no, not interested.
Mhm. No, it's
Not interested.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Anyway, we could go round and round in circles on that forever, couldn't we? I
we
think,
could. It might be worthwhile getting the discussion going sometime. Maybe get someone who's pro AI, someone who, well, he could get a bit bloodthirsty, that couldn't it? Yeah,
to
it's
see the
so many
story on the
do's.
BBC now about some pitchfork wielding mob storming the Wirral. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That would be the way it would actually sort of end up. Like I said, it's everyone's got their own opinion, and that's the way it should actually be. But maybe going forward, we'll get a discussion going and just see which way it actually goes because it would
Hmm.
be it's up there with should you really pay for a games master or what's the benefits of paying £25 for a games master for a couple of hours? Is it really worth the money? That's another one
Hmm.
that I've actually encountered today. I've encountered that one. I ended up in quite a discussion with somebody over that. Um, each to their own again. If you can afford it and that's what you want, then fair enough.
Yeah. Thing is, if you've got a bunch of players, if you've got 3 or 4 players, let's say you've got 4 players, one of those 4 players is always going to be the GM.
Yeah,
And if you want to sit with those 4 players and all be a player in a game, and a professional GM's going to cost you five or 10 quid each,
yeah.
isn't that? I'd say
That's
that's money. I'd say that's money well spent.
that's not too bad.
Pay
That
the, pay
this
the
pat-
GM and get the beers in.
yeah, this particular one, it was £25 per person for 2 hours that was being charged.
Right. Okay.
That's which is a bit different from for what you put there. Yeah, you know what? I'd go with that. I'd be there and go, right, entertain me now. Let's see what you've got.
Yeah.
And I'd go with the
Yeah.
flow.
But you
But
want, I mean, if you're going to pay money for it, it's got to be special. You want maps, you
I
want
want
minis, you want,
something. Yeah, I want
um,
the works. You know,
yeah, yeah.
uh, not
And you
asking for
also you
everything, but I
also want
want
the
it.
ability to slap your mate when he decides that he's going to go shopping. you know,
Wasting
Um,
time. Get back on.
that's it. Yeah, I want to role play the interaction with the vendor of my new hat.
Not happening, mate. Move on.
Yeah,
Right,
not a
fade to
£25 an
black.
hour. It's not. Yeah.
Anyway, right, enough of this.
Anyway, yes,
Um,
enough of these shenanigans and
so we
silliness.
we
Yes,
we will return next week, hopefully, discussing Gen Con and other wondrous things, and
yeah,
we'll also have a bit of a discussion around how RPG a day started and how that's going.
yeah, that'd be cool. And if anybody is going to Gen Con, looking at you, Phil, if anyone's going and wants to come on and talk about their experience at Gen Con, I would love that.
That would be great as well. So,
Absolutely
open call. If
love that.
anybody is going, um, you mentioned Phil there. Would Phil come on and talk to us?
Or Sedge rather. We're supposed to call him Sedge, aren't
Oh,
we?
Sedge. So right, Sedge. Yeah, so, yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. So Sedge, if you've gone to Gen Con,
It's in his backyard, isn't it?
it is basically. So there's no excuse. Just come on and tell us how
Yeah,
it
come
went
on,
if you
Sedge.
go.
Get your ass to Gen Con and then come and tell us all about it.
Right. And on that note, it's time for some tea for me, lad.
And
So
me.
yeah, that's it. Not eaten yet, and it's now 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
it's goodbye from him. Thank you
And
very
it's
much for
goodbye
listening,
from him.
and make sure you subscribe. Have some more.
Happy gaming, folks. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.